When you look at Laura and its impact there in the Lake Charles area, taking out infrastructure is the biggest part of a hurricane, and Hurricane Laura did that in an outstanding way. Buildings uprooted and moved into different lots. Roofs just ripped off like they were tin foil. From multiple telephone poles collapsed and just scattered throughout the landscape. When it passed Cuba, we were pretty sure that it would impact somewhere along the Gulf Coast.
When Laura came, you heard from the highest levels of the North American leadership, hey, do what you got to do, go take care of our people and our customers.
We identified who we thought was going to be in the affected area. We kind of narrowed our response to 3 individuals there in Lake Charles and Beaumont.
We discussed our plans of action as far as logistics to get materials in, and also just how we would approach getting in to check on each of the employees.
Thursday morning, we got up and started heading towards the Lake Charles area. I-10 was closed, so we had to drive up through some of the smaller back roads to get over to Lake Charles. Just total devastation when you got up close to Lake Charles. I mean, power lines in the middle of the road, trees down everywhere.
Made our way first to our teammates, right? So we wanted to make sure that our teammates were good.
That's what we're there to do more than anything, is to take care of the folks, the employees, anybody we see that needs help, and then obviously get to the customer so we can help the community with medical. You know, it's an important part when these things happen, is people have a place they know they can go.
Typically the hardest hit areas, the northeast eye wall. Stephanie Stevens ended up being at her home with her family and suffered the eye wall of Hurricane Laura. And as we got into her neighborhood, her street was blocked with trees, so we used some of the chainsaws that we had to clear the pathway around her driveway and her street so that we could gain access to her house. No power, no air conditioning, no water. We did bring fuel and we did bring generators, and so one of the things that we can do is we hooked up the generator, isolated her from the city power, and backfed her panel in a way that could power up her whole house. And so when we restored power, not only was she able to use the window AC units, the ceiling fans, and the lights and everything else, she was also able to cook and use the oven and things like that.
He came in and set us up, and we had power, and that was huge. My mom loves breakfast, so the fact that she got to have a cup of coffee and a biscuit with jelly on it just made her happy. So it felt like we were getting a little bit back to normal, even though we're still not back to normal. That was a huge step for us. And it felt like not only did Roche have our back, but the coworkers I used to have would come no matter what.
Sometimes you lose hope, right? And one of the things that we're able to do, you know, in situations like this is not only take care of, you know, physical needs, you know, safety and shelter and things like that, but the emotional need of knowing that there are people that care for you, right? And that you're not alone in this, and it gives people hope that things will be okay. We took care of Stephanie Stevens and her family, and then right from there, it's probably about a 5-minute, and it's probably about 15-minute drive now because of the downed trees and stuff. We got over to the hospital. We understood that they were on generator backup and they had lost water. Clay Luton, who's my lead engineer, reached out to one of our large customers within the Houston metro area, and they had agreed to donate 10 boxes of neural water so that we could use it. So we brought that in.
Well, the next morning, Jack called me and said, "Hey, man, they're like in dire. They almost used up all that water we brought, and they're taking on more patients. You know, the other hospitals in the area had closed down. There was another ER that was open, but they didn't have a lab. They were sending their labs to West Calcasieu. So, I mean, it was imperative that we find something for them, you know, for the sake of the patients in that area."
We're able to get 130 gallons of water that I put on my utility trailer, and I drove it down on Friday, which gave them the ability to run their lab.
The combined effort of bringing in the resources from different locations ended up resulting in an uninterrupted supply of water and service for West Calcasieu Cameron Hospital. If I'm going to say anything, it would how much I appreciate our team members, especially Sean Bryant and Clay Luton, and having those two by my side to execute on a plan to take care of our people, because I know that I can count on them. I know that whatever I ask of them, they're going to give 110% in order to take care of our team members.
That was the most rewarding time I'd ever had with Roche, just the most rewarding day, because you saw just how much you were impacting somebody and how, Roche was impacting this employee's life because everybody cared.
I wasn't expecting him to bring generators and gasoline and water, but I wasn't surprised by it because it's Jack and Clay and Sean. And it's Roche.
I just want to say how much I appreciate Roche and the leadership for stepping up. Really, no questions asked about what was necessary for us to take care of our team.
It's been hard, but if I didn't have Roche in my corner, I don't think I could have done it.